Here we go.
This is the Ring of Honor, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you ever seen, boy.
This is Mr. Anderson.
This is good old JR Jim Ross, and you are listening.
You're listening to Knockouts and 3 Counts.
Cover! We got it, the new world champion!
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
Knockouts and 3 Counts is the podcast, baby! It's a real deal, baby!
Knockouts and 3 Counts starts now.
Ooh, what up, though? It is another Tuesday. I didn't go postal in this bitch, and we saw some really good wrestling this past weekend. We saw some way better fights thanks to Kazmat Chimaev being a fat ass. And, man, we've got the long-awaited return of our buddy, the Dread King Logan, and per Donald Holland speaking it into existence again on Twitter, we've got the return of our buddy D-Mac, who was with us at Circle 6. So how y'all boys doing tonight?
All good here, bro. Good to see you guys again.
Hell yeah.
Likewise.
Well, feeling good.
Good to be on.
Hell yeah, dude. You are alive and well because you were killing it at Circle 6 this past weekend. And, dude, I'm loving seeing you getting out here and doing your thing and starting to expand the kingdom. So, I mean, I guess that's as good a place as any to start is tell me what are your thoughts on Circle 6 with your first couple forays, both with Midwest Scum and yourself in a singles match against Ace Perry here in Detroit? Which, I mean, you dropped one hell of a leg drop. I mean, you might have broke your ass bone, but it was a hell of a leg drop.
Oh, we named that leg drop finally, too, but I'll get to that. First off, to answer about Circle 6, man, Circle 6 is like a godsend, man. It's like nice to be at a place that kind of has it all organized and has a vision, has a like a purpose almost, you know, like their merch is dope, the atmosphere is dope. Like everything there just feels very well-rounded and like they have a purpose and they give you a purpose as a wrestler. And it feels really good to be there. I'm going to tell you, it's got like a real, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's like a ECW meets like WCW meets like everything that wrestling should be right now. You know, like it just feels good. Every match is on point. Like everything is organized well. They take care of the guys. It's done right. It's what wrestling should be.
I mean, they must be doing something right because every single person that we had on, from the promotions leading into the event last week, I mean, we had, 3 or 4 different athletes from the show come on, and every single one of them said the same type of deal where it was like behind the scenes, man, they really have a sense of direction. They have a goal in mind. And not only that, they're treating their athletes, like top level, and they're really bringing a lot of these guys from their words, darker places back into the light. So, I mean, they must be doing something right.
Oh, yeah. They got go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say on this point is they don't talk about it. They be about it. Yep. I think that what Mike in Circle 6 and Josh and Ricky and all those guys, they have a vision and a plan of their vision of what pro wrestling is. And that's the beauty of just the fact that we can all love different combat sports and love different kinds of wrestling. You don't have to choose. And they've all been around. Like Ricky's been around a long time. And I think it's the atmosphere. I think there was a tweet out today that Atticus sent out. The fact of this is a place for belonging. It's sort of like they want it to be sort of the outcasts, and to the point of giving some guys that have maybe been around the block already and maybe haven't done it the way they wanted. It sort of gives them a redemption tour, but it starts with the locker room. And you know what? There's a lot of great, we could talk about, experience a lot of the great promotions going on out there. And I think it's not only a great time for wrestling, it's a great time for the wrestlers. And I can't commend, Mike and everybody involved at Circle 6 because of how they treat everybody. And they don't just talk about it, they be about it, from the simple things as making the joke that, hey, there's food in the back, or there's water, or here's a chair, here's a towel. They take care of their talent. And when you see that, the talent shows up. And the card, I mean, and they put out. So, well, that's the whole thing, right? So then I think it's awesome because we all love different things. And what Circle 6 provides, it's like the smorgasbord. The eclecticness is not just one thing, it's everything else. You know, one of the other big reasons, obviously, I wanted to come on here and I'll do the promoting right now is because if you have not seen Midwest Scum, which, you know, we know the Dread King Logan is part of Grimy Zach Comics, but this is an opportunity, you know, for these guys who want to be, this is what they want to be. They want to be this tag team where we talk about, you know, the FTRs, if they're the gold standard. Well, you know, you could ask this, the great question that I'd ask Logan is watching Aussie Open, who we're going to see fight FTR over on ROH over in England and whatever, but to be around professional tag teams, you know, in Cleveland, you guys wrestled the Premier again. Yep. So I'm putting it out there. Everybody knows, you know, I got Tommy Vendetta's on his own singles mission, and we'll talk about that kid at another time, and I'll be all across the country with him. But as far as this, when it goes to Midwest Scum and the Dread King Logan and Grimy Zach Thomas, I'm around to hopefully help open up a few doors for people because these guys want to do the work and they're absolutely must-see TV. And if you haven't seen them, look them up. Their tag team because they just keep getting better and better. And you know, Logan, how long have you guys been seriously a tag team?
Maybe less than a year.
Oh, absolutely less than a year. How many times do you think you guys have tagged? You know, in real matches.
6 maybe, but we are together basically almost every weekend, living together basically. So I don't know, man. It's like
I'll hand it back to the professionals, but that's what I wanted to say. So you'll see me around, but these guys are the ones doing the work and it's the passion. And I think when it comes to Circle 6, they're given a platform and an opportunity for the guys that are wanting to do it right. So you guys know, we talk about it when we stand in the crowd. It's the atmosphere and everything that Logan said. We feel it too, and I hope that, you know, on that end the fans feel it. You know, the fans feel it, the vibe in the room, and you know, like wow, like how about like that Aussie Open, Alex Zane,
that was badass,
Aussie boy, Rich Swann. I mean, right in the D. Right in your face. Yeah. Unbelievable. And then
that match was incredible.
One thing I want to say, me and Kyle talked about it. We talk about it every time we see you guys. The energy that you and Zach bring and D-Mac do. Midwest,
you guys had one of the loudest ovations at the last show.
When you hit the ring, and I've said, actually, I think I asked Kyle last time. We never figured out. I don't even know your theme song. I've been trying to look up your theme song. I can't hear it. Every time you guys hit the ring, the energy in the crowd, whether it's
awesome.
coming down, whether it's going up the start of the show, man, it just pops. And it's like a vibe. It's like a party, dude. Like I said on Twitter, Circle 6 is a party right now. Midwest Scum heading to the ring. Like, it's a party, dude. You guys bring that energy. It's very unique. So,
yeah, D-Mac. Thank you, man. D-Mac and I rolling out on a bicycle, man.
Yeah, that one was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty badass, dude.
And by the way, do any of the rest of you know what their theme opening song is?
I'm not sure. Donald, you're in the comments. What is it?
Come out to play.
There he is on fucking cue.
I couldn't hear.
Okay. I like it.
Okay, so that song is the Baseball Furies theme song from the Warriors.
Okay.
Nice.
When they're chasing them down with the bats and stuff. Zach and I love that fucking movie. I introduced him to that movie. So Zach and I have a bit of an age difference, right? So I introduced Zach to a lot of things that I'm into. Like, I love 80s movies. I love 80s rock. I love 80s everything. So I introduced Zach to all these 80s movies, and now he's catching on to them, and we kind of get inspired by watching that stuff. If you watch us, we like to inspire ourselves from like the Warriors and Fight Club and things that really kind of draw to us, things that we have fun. I don't know if you noticed, but if you guys didn't see the tag match we had with the last one at the premiere in Ohio, I'm a big Mike Awesome fan. And at one point I point at Mike, I point at Zach, and then I point at my opponent because that's how Mike Awesome would point at people before he'd throw their asses through tables. You know what I mean? So we get inspired by a bunch of different things. Zach's incredible.
And we sent a shout out to the Motor City Machine Guns on Friday night because Zach wasn't there, so we figured we give props to a little Easter egg shout out to Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley for the best to come out of this area.
I was going to say,
talk about great legends.
I wouldn't be mad if they showed up in a ring against us. I'm just saying.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that either. I mean, that brings up as good a question as any. I mean, D-Mac already kind of alluded it, but like, you know, you mentioned that you and Zach are still a newer team. What is it, do you think, even with like that age difference and all those things, that is making you guys such a cohesive tag team in such a short time?
Oh, we're brothers from different mothers.
Hey,
I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, everyone says blood makes brothers, and that's bullshit. It's how you feel about each other. Zach and I are inseparable. Like, I got his back, he's got my back. D-Mac's with us. D-Mac's our brother. You know, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Those guys spend more time together than a lot of family members and stuff. And Zach lives in Ohio, but is down here every weekend. He's part of Birdie's family with one and the other. You know, so cerebrally, like when Birdie's talking about introducing Zach to things, it's because they stay up and watch scary movies and wrestle and work out in the dungeon and do this stuff, but they want to be the best, watching wrestling tapes and doing the things that the passion's all about. But what makes them a great tag team is they're both physical as fuck, bro. They're both absolute killers. Like, this is strong style. This is like as hard as you get. It's like, you know, put them in there with a Samoa Joe and a Daniel Bryan and somebody you can put them in there with Sheamus, and you know what? These two would take a beating from Gunther. You know, you know, so it's one of the, and they love it. So that's what makes them dangerous. And then as they get more cohesive, it's the move set. I mean, they got some of the greatest, the Yuppie Killer and the, you know, Don't Stand on My Porch, and, you know,
all types of stuff. Crotch Kiss.
Yeah, I mean,
well, hot damn, we're going for all the names in this bitch.
All right.
We name our shit. Speaking of names, hey, D-Mac, did I tell you what I named the leg drop?
Nope.
The big Kaz, after Brandon Kaz Lucas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. That's my homie, man. He loves that move every time I hear it.
Hey, that's because you got to drop your big Kaz on this shit right here.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guys from PWE, man. Yeah.
Shout out, boys. I like
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, you got, like I said, you guys were on quite a roll, and it's cool to hear you know, your thoughts so far on going in Circle 6. But with that being said, what are and you speak of the man, and here he comes. You know, with that being said, I mean, with, you know, you're doing the tags, but we also know you do your thing in the singles. So with that being said, you know, what's on the agenda with Circle 6? You know, do you want to try to go after that Circle 6 title that we saw Atticus Kogar, who happens to be a past guest of the show? So if you're new here, make sure you hit the fucking subscribe button. But yeah, I mean, are you looking at that world title? I mean, I know there's got to be tag titles there. I know they're still establishing that tag division. I mean, what's the goals for Circle 6 for you?
Oh, anything and everything. Whatever they put before us, we just want to conquer it. Zach and I want to take tag titles. If they come with tag titles, I want those. I'm gonna tell you this though: if Atticus puts the title up against me, I'm not gonna say no. I owe him. He skewered the shit out of me with his two boys at Ruthless. I owe him some payback, and I have my own little weapon of choice. I haven't brought it out yet, but trust me, it's coming. He's gonna meet Lincoln. He's gonna meet Lincoln. He's gonna meet Lincoln.
It's got a name.
Listen,
it's got a name.
I'm the guy that got skewered by Atticus, not once, but twice.
Touche.
Hey, listen.
We took a picture with him in your head.
Well, you know what? I use photo ops, boy.
In the moment.
You can't. Listen.
He literally stopped us and goes, wait a minute. We got to take a picture with the skewers still in my head.
Absolutely. I love it. Yeah, so I got plans for him too. We'll all get that, but no, to the point about the tag teams, anybody who wants to fight these guys, we'll travel now.
Circle 6 is in this bitch listening.
I see him.
Hey, don't you worry. Atticus, look at Ricky showed his true colors. They couldn't handle the fact that somebody else is getting a little bit bigger. Wait, so I'm gonna let Atticus out of respect, because I do respect him, even though he scares the shit out of me, and I got a receipt coming his way. I'm gonna wait, but like Birdie said, we got plans because paybacks are a bitch. Remember that.
Oh boy.
Hey, you just bring that
I
hockey stick that you had at the circus. If you bring that hockey stick that you had at the circus, bro, I think you'll be all right. Even against Atticus, I think you'll be all right.
The hockey stick for Brandon Kirk breaking it over his ass. I'm gonna break that over his head, even though he won the Danny Havoc Cup. Congrats to him and his wife Casey and all that stuff. But here's the thing: no, I did pull out what I'm gonna use on Atticus. I did pull out of my hockey bag. I didn't get Brandon with it, but I'm gonna figure out a way how to. You want to go? I'm gonna figure out a way how to get these skate blades sharpened and see if I can get them. So I'm figuring out how to bring a skate into this ring. So maybe I spoke a little too much.
You know what makes Circle
I
Six
too much out of the bag.
You know what makes Circle 6 so different is the match quality, the production value, like the way that the show is ran. When you walk in there, you know you're about to see a real wrestling show.
Yeah,
I can't argue that, dude.
I said that the first night we went there. It was very unique. The setup was beautiful, man. The production was great. Sound, even everything to the sound quality. Besides, I mean, obviously, besides the fans going crazy over your theme song that I couldn't even hear. But
yeah, you know it now, so you can play it at home.
Right, exactly. But yeah, wild experience, man. I loved it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it on Fight too, dude. Like I said, I mean, it looked good. Like the venue looked good on TV. Like everything looked cool. Like, you know what? And I liked the way they had like the shirts on the seats and stuff. You know, like
who gives away free shirts?
There's tons of t-shirts.
Yeah.
Tons of t-shirts. And then on top of that, like the visual that makes, where you've got, you know, the yellow on one side, all for Atticus. You got the orange for Jake Chris, who also happens to be a past guest of the show. Hit the subscribe button.
His should have been red because he was pouring.
Dude, I was just saying that watching it back. Like, I knew he was leaking there, but I watched it back and I'm like, man, this motherfucker was leaking.
I don't know if it's his, but after the show, we took that picture by the ring and I stepped in somebody's blood. So
it was probably definitely his.
Could have been his. But when I got back to the car, I'm like, oh, what's this? Okay.
Hey,
nice
let me ask you this. If we all watch that, because to me, the black mask kick that Jake hit Atticus with coming over the ladder, that was
I felt it.
I think Jake caught that ladder right in the side of the temple. Sort of split him like Jericho, because he was bleeding like that deep blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I felt Jake's kick before, and I think D-Max felt it too.
Oh,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine coming off the top of a ladder and eating that.
It actually felt saucy. I mean, I felt like it was almost like some chick stole a kiss or something like that. It was actually I actually enjoyed it too much. That's why. That's a good whatever. I get it why these guys are the way that they are.
There's another thing
the timing on that kick was slick, man.
You're not kidding.
It was definitely slick, man.
Yo, Jake Christ is a action figure inside the ring, hero outside the ring. Make sure you go back and check out that episode with him saving a dude from a burning car, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Go on YouTube and watch me beat him up a little bit.
Well, I mean, you can do that too. Just make sure you watch the story.
Watch me get super kicked in the face.
Yeah, that sucks.
Hey, man. I mean, a lot of people fell to it from HBK. But speaking of things that are on YouTube, dude, you know, another past guest of this show that you have tangled it up with recently over there at IWR was PCO. Tell me about that match, because I was literally like standing there just watching y'all like from 2 feet away beat the shit out of each other at the table. If you didn't get to check out any of that stuff, make sure you go back and follow us at KO3C Pod. You can see all that shit. But that was a hell of a match, dude. So tell me your thoughts, and getting to get in there with, you know, big names like him. That's a former Ring of Honor champ.
So I have to explain the Dread King before I talk about that. So there's different Dread Kings, right? There's Midwest Scum Dread King, and he's controllable because D-Mac and Zach, he can control and keep me having fun. But when it comes to just me out there, it's not just having fun. It's like Dread King. And PCO, I had to step up. I mean, by the end of it, I couldn't even see out my eye because he smashed my face into a wall. You know? But PCO is probably one of my most favorite matches I've ever had, because I actually had to fight for my life, I felt like, in that. Guy's insane. I mean, I'm laying on a table. No, he's literally nuts.
It's not just a moniker.
No, to beat a monster, I have to become madness, and that's what I did, and I beat him. and I'm still the IWR heavyweight champion for a reason. Damn proud.
Hey man, that was a hell of a match. Like I said, being there, it was dope to see that. Shout out to Rhino and the guys there. It was great to finally link up with PCO too, because we've been supposed to do that like 6 times at this point. And like literally every time we've been supposed to, some shit happens. Like when we were in Dallas, he got a concussion in his match at the Multiverse, and then we didn't see him at GCW, and then everybody's like, yeah, you didn't hear he got a concussion. So it was cool to link up with him. He's been a big supporter of the show for a long time. So I was really excited to see when I saw that matchup on the pike for you, because I feel like the more we keep seeing you getting in the ring with the likes of a PCO, with the likes of the people that you're seeing over here at Circle 6, I mean, it's only going to continue to raise your game. But with that being said, I mean, is that's kind of what's on the agenda as far as like moving forward outside of Circle 6? Because I feel like the more we keep seeing you at places like IWR or Paradigm or, you know, here at Circle 6, I mean, whether it's singles or tag, dude, I mean, I feel like you've got quite the future coming forward. So what do you want to see coming next?
I just want to take this as far as I can go. I heard a quote a long time ago from Aleister Black, and he said, every time he had success, he would be satisfied. So that way, if he didn't move on, he knew that was the best he could get to, and he'd be happy with his career. So every time I have another step for success, I'm happy because I know I got to another position. Now, if I go to the next one, awesome. That's great. I'm going to work my ass off for it. But if not, then at least I know I put the effort in to get to where I'm going. And I busted my ass. I put everything into it to know that. Now, if I can get to the very top to where I have in my head where I think is the top, then I succeeded. If not, then I'm going to succeed in whatever else I put myself into. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
I'm not going to let myself.
Uh-oh.
Nope. No, that's because I had an alarm set to talk to you guys.
Oh.
I can't forget. Well, I'm glad you didn't forget about us, brother.
But
I had an alarm. I'm professional.
I don't want to hear any I told you so about Jeff King.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of.
So enjoy the journey.
Donald Holland
Enjoy
with his
the
crystal
journey,
ball.
not the destination.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Well, D-Mac, since you got to be there, you know, ringside and all that, what was, for the 2 shows, whether it be Cleveland or Detroit, what was your favorite match of the weekend, man?
No, I think that really, and I've touched on this earlier, is standing with Verdi watching, or Logan beside the ring, watching Aussie Open and Saucy Boys, because you had 4 real, true professionals that travel the world that you'll see in the ring together, and to watch them work. Because sometimes it doesn't matter where you are, but if you don't see where you want to get to, then how can you apply it, right? And if you're not in the ring with guys like that, but being around guys like that, watching how they handle themselves in the room, the conversation, stuff like that, and then to go out and to do it and to see it live, and I think Birdie can touch on it, but that, because I think not only to be in the ring, and then I think that him and Zach went out and applied some of that. And you see that if you watch the match back in Cleveland against the Premier, who the Premier is a great tag team out of Kansas City also, right? But these are starting to get in the next level. If you attribute it to like baseball, you know, you're out of A ball or rookie ball, out of A, moving into double A, moving into triple A. And this is where, and I think what the most important thing was for the Dread King to see, yeah, bro, that's you. You belong there. That's everything that you could be, and even breaking it down, like seeing how Aussie Open utilizes the size different advantage. Well, it's a different conversation because you got two brutes, 2 guys that can be the Rick Steiner of the Steiner brothers, or be the Scott Steiner of the Steiner brothers. They don't have to be one or the other. They get to be both. Interchangeable, and it's going to be a joy to watch them be more creative as they get more comfortable. So to me, you know, it'd be easy to say the hybrid ladder match, that was special. Congrats to Atticus, you know, being the catalyst and saying whatever you want. He earned it. I thought it was a phenomenal match. We haven't even mentioned Zach Zach Wentz, who was flying around there and, took some hellacious bumps. But I thought it was such a great show, and like I said, just all around, it was a lot of fun.
I want to cap on that. The
Please
Aussie
do.
Open's Saucy Boys match was outstanding. And
Yes.
as I stood there watching it, all I could think in my head was Midwest Scum is going to get to that level, if not past it. You see, when you see talent like that and it inspires you to be better, to reach for a higher goal, especially when you're at some place like Circle 6, you want to get better. You have to get better because you have to compete with that kind of talent. And how it was amazing. So then when I went in the back, I just sat there for 5 minutes thinking about, I think I was there actually for like 20 minutes thinking about that match and how, if I was in there, how could I defeat that team? See, when they're wrestling, I'm studying and training because I want to be better. I want to be the best. I don't want to hold myself back. I don't want to hold Zach back. I don't want to hold D-Mac back. So I'm going to put everything into what I'm doing. So nonstop, me and Zach are always thinking wrestling, nonstop. And when to see matches like that at Circle 6, it's inspiring. It makes me want to be the best I can be. So I appreciate that stuff.
I like it, dude, because I mean that, like you said, that shows that you're a student of the game. Before we get any further, I've seen the stuff online with Zach's pops and stuff like that, dude. So, like I said, shout out to him and their family. Like I said, that prayers for them, man. But with that being said, Corey, you, like we've talked about, are not always the biggest wrestling guys. So you being there at Circle 6 and getting to be there after talking to Atticus, after talking to Jake Christ, after talking to Vinny Massaro, who, before you make your point, I just got to give this dude a little bit of credit because, he came on here and said, fuck the Kogars. And then the second he had his chance, he got up from that damn table and fucking got in there and threw hands and then made an impact on in Ohio the next night with Otis. So I'm just saying, you got to give the man some credit for having a set. But I'll let you tell your thoughts on the show.
Well, he's got a set of nuts, but he's got no braids. He put his hands on the old lady, and it's like he didn't take a swing at him. She would have knocked him down.
You're not wrong.
Ate a table.
True.
So karma.
What do you think, Corey?
It was definitely a solid show. To all your guys' points, I really like the production value and the way that I could gauge that being in the background of the set, I guess you could say, is every time they would bring up the walkouts and stuff like that, the introductions, the cutaways and stuff like that on the screen, you would always see that just the angles that they would choose would be correct. They would have the proper angle and stuff like that on every shot that they were bringing all their wrestlers in. All the walkouts, like for it being a middle-sized crowd, that crowd was definitely hyped throughout the whole show. Everybody was definitely in there, like tuned in, excited for what they were seeing. And I've talked about it many a times. I may not be familiar with most of these guys and what their stories are and stuff like that. So to see who the crowd pops for and who they don't is really a big thing for me. That's how I gauge who's the one I should watch out for and who, is just the other guy on the card type of deal. And Circle 6 crowd was definitely out there ready to watch a show. And I feel like they definitely got that show, man. All the matches definitely lived up to expectation, if not exceeded them. And yeah, man, it was definitely a solid night. I enjoyed the night with friends watching some solid wrestling.
What was your favorite match?
I mean, like you say, D-Mac, it's hard to the ladder match was definitely built up all night. So it's like to say that wasn't like the catalyst of the night would kind of be a lie in my opinion. I felt like that was the cherry on top, and they made it that way for a reason. So I'm gonna have to take the easy way out and say the ladder match on this one.
I mean, it's not like that's a bad pick at all or anything. I mean,
great explanation too.
You can pick any match.
No, yeah. Where do you start on that card, right?
You can choose any match, bro.
like I said, man, I enjoyed it from start to finish. That's a good question. Now, is it going to be how you going to spell the Saucy Boys? I immediately. Does anybody remember Epic Mealtime? Anybody who's watching this, if you've ever watched Epic Mealtime, please tell me in the comments. Because the first thing I thought of when it was the Saucy Boys. That's the first thing I thought
Jack
of.
Daniels.
Sauce. You got to get it with a little bit more sauce. Dude, oh my God. I'm going to end up fucking going down the Epic Mealtime wormhole after we're done with this show. Son of a bitch. I shouldn't have said anything about it. But, dude, oh my God. Look, I was going to say, though, they're like a heart attack on a plate. But, dude, some of that shit looked really fucking good, didn't it?
You ain't lying, dude. You ain't lying.
That's heartburn, bro.
Uh-oh. Circle 6 is dropping news. Oh, shit. All right. Kyle, when I told you that was the last show in Detroit for a while, he may have lied. Uh-oh.
Right. Come on back.
Because of us.
You heard that here first. That's why you guys got to hit that subscribe button. Keep them, them likes and comments and all that coming. Share the stream. Let motherfuckers know. If Circle 6 comes back here, all I'm saying is knockouts. I mean, he'll forgive you, and knockouts and 3 counts is more than welcome to have the door wide open. So, if any of the Kogars or anybody else has got something to say about Vinny or anything else, we are never afraid of a good time. But, all right, can we get a psychopath in the Midwest Scum? All right. I mean, I don't know. I've heard Mike say multiple times that he likes Tommy Vendetta. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked that that's a thing that's out of the way. I reached out for a date. If it's available, we'll be back this year. Hey, man.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's what I like to hear.
I got a line to Tommy Vendetta, by the way. Hey, Tommy, you done taking a shit? You want to do Circle 6? He said, whatever.
Make sure you wipe first, bro. Make sure you wipe first.
Leave him. Listen, I don't let him
He's
out
hardcore.
of the house.
He's hardcore. He's a sandpaper.
Listen, he's a student now. He's studying his criminal justice. Leave him alone. It's study time. No, go back to your study.
Hey, Mike. I don't know, Mike. I'm not mad at that match. How about we run Midwest Scum and Aussie Open? I got to say, Aussie Open, I've gotten to see those guys 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I saw them at All Out. I saw them at GCW. I saw them at Circle 6. Every time I've seen these dudes so far, they fucking killed it. I am a very big fan of Aussie Open. See, they said it too. See, they know. They said it's money. See, book that shit. See, anyone that's been following us for a while knows that we just have a knack of booking good shit on this show. Midwest Scum versus Aussie Open. If they come back to Detroit, hot damn it, take my money.
Well said.
See? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to put good things in people's ears and manifest shit. Donald, you were talking about manifesting some shit. Let's see them fucking fight when they come back here to Detroit, and I will make sure I'm in the building. Corey, are we bringing your ass out if they come fight Aussie Open in Detroit?
It sounds like it.
Hey, man, $3 PBRs on me, Corey. Let's go.
I was gonna say I enjoyed those PBRs.
Kathy, get you a twisted tumbler.
So, yeah, I imagine I'll be back in attendance if they roll through before the end of the year.
Especially if we get Aussie Open versus Midwest Scum. Imagine the physicality in that match. That's like,
fuck yeah, dude, I'm with that.
That's like, I know I'm like the older guy between the 3, but that's like Heart Foundation demolition type level shit for me, bro. I'm going back in the day.
I'm a wrestling nerd, sir. I know. I'm well aware of who the fuck.
I don't like to
play quick fact that the line I played on in junior in Belleville, Jake Grimes centering Craig Frazier and Darren McCarty was known as Jake the Snake and Demolition Axe and Smash. I was the Smasher, baby. Bro. The Smasher.
Talking about.
Old school.
So does that mean that was your favorite tag team, D-Mac?
Yeah, and I was a Road Warrior guy too.
Dude,
but
hot damn
was my guys.
Hey, you heard it, bro. Like I said, my dad was like a Road Warrior. Like, he loved the Road Warriors just because they were big as shit. Like, my dad would always laugh with wrestling because he was a lifter and shit. But whenever you watch the Road Warriors, dude, they just beat the shit out of people. Like,
somebody told me that they think somebody said you remind us, Midwest Scum reminds us, if the Road Warriors and Motor City Machine Guns had a bastard child.
I mean, that's a hell of a bastard child.
That's a hell of a child right there.
You got work to do. You got work to do, little toddlers. Let's go. Let's grow up so they're still doing it when you're adults.
Oh, boy.
You're making those comparisons.
All right. Well, I know we got a couple more things for you before we get out of here. I got one for you, Logan, and I got one for D-Mac, and then if y'all got anything as well, I will let y'all pitch yours first. So, Logan, for you, you know, you've answered this, but it was a long time ago. We've had a lot of different submissions to this part of the show since you've been gone, and Atticus had maybe one of the most entertaining submissions to said part of the show on Thursday. Wouldn't you say, J-Bone?
I would definitely agree.
I would agree too. Well, with that being said, you know, we got we call it locker room etiquette, but it's not trying to get all the behind the scenes shit. It's like pet peeves or things that piss you off. Well, now that you're in a tag team and you're part of Midwest Scum and all those things, do you got any things, maybe not necessarily that maybe Zach does that annoys you, but any things about the locker room that annoys you? Anyone that needs reminding? We've had everybody from Josh Briggs to Stevie Ray and Booker T and everybody else in between answer this. So we've gotten everything from wash your balls, keep your baby mama out the locker room. Silas Young said, don't get too comfortable. Ninja Max said, keep training. All kinds of different stuff. So I will leave that one to you. Do you have anything that annoys you with that you see in these days, or is there anything that you would say to a young kid that's coming in, or anything you just want to add to the list?
Okay, so I can comment on the young kid coming in, and I can comment on the annoyance thing easy. I don't get annoyed much in locker rooms anymore because I think negativity brings negativity. I notice that people are just people, and they act how they act, and there's nothing you can do to change them. And when I start to get annoyed, I try not to, but Zach's usually there to cut it off, or I'm there to cut him off, and then he'll fucking probably tell the person that's pissing me off to go fuck off or something. I'll do the same for him. I mean, it is what it is. When we're together, we're just it's a little savage. But for the new kids coming in, be positive, be happy with what you're given. You know, there's a lot of people out there that aren't being given the spots. It means they see something in you and a potential. You know, I see guys like TJ Meyer out there, and he shows up at every show, and he sets up. And he doesn't. Yeah, he helps out. He does whatever is needed. The kid's got talent too, and as soon as somebody sees it, he's gonna pop off. And as soon as he realizes his own self-worth, he's gonna pop off. That's a lot of these guys out there. A lot of these guys got to put. Sometimes you have to roll the dice on yourself, and if you lose, you lose. You learn from it. You dust yourself off, and you walk the walk again. If you want to be a wrestler, act. If you want to be a wrestler, act like a wrestler. Be a champion inside and outside that ring. That's about it.
I like it. I like it, dude.
Love it, man.
Wash your balls.
Well,
wash your balls.
I mean, that helps, bro. Like, nobody likes getting Mundall in their face when you're and shit.
We smell you coming. Not in the good way.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I know. Fuck.
With stinky ass dudes.
Well, we got a question for D-Mac before I hit him with my last question before we get out of here. Joey's got a good one. So, if it comes down to Midwest Scum and DTA, who you picking?
You'll have to tune in. You'll have to.
He hit him with the cliffhanger. He pulled one out of J-Bone's book, man. He pulled that move, and then Atticus pulled his punk card on fucking Thursday. But hey,
okay, here we go. Here's Kyle making shit up again. I swear he's deleting.
Hey, I don't gotta make shit up, sir. There's video proof of it.
Hey, Vince Russo said
that ain't no punk card.
Video proof.
There's always a swerve, bro. There's always a swerve, bro.
Somebody's giving you D-Mac, could you give him the right weed, please? Because somebody's giving him the wrong shit.
Well, yeah, obviously ain't smoking my shit, J-Bone. I mean, you seem like you're doing all with your chill over there. You're doing good. By the way, Circle 6 comes back. You know D-Mac gonna bring the weed. You guys worry about your PBRs and stuff like that, but we'll be all good. Do we need a consultation, Kyle, off do you need to come into my office and we have to relook at your meds to make sure you're on the right cannabis? Because,
hey, you know, if that's what we got to do.
J-Bone says you're talking out your ass.
Book it.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've been accused of such a thing. But I mean, hey, dude. I mean, you know, it is what it is. J-Bone can hate all he wants. Atticus made sure that he picked him. It was all good, dude.
Well, holy shit! Who won? Who won?
He picked the right way. He picked the right way. I give him that.
Shit.
He picked the right way.
J-Bone,
but
you pick winners
go ahead.
and you still get fucking shit, bro. This is fucking bullshit.
You see what I gotta go through here?
This fucking Kyle.
You see what he's got to deal with?
Doing to him at the post office.
I know, man. They're gonna make me go postal. Damn it! And if the supervisors are listening, just don't tell Carmelo.
You see what I got to deal with weekly here? It's amazing.
That was a great question. You know what? Hey, you know what? That's a question that you just asked me, DTA Midwest Scum, that you can, you can continuously ask me as it goes on. But I'm just saying, you never know. You never know. It's wrestling, baby.
Love that.
All right, so the last one I got for you before I get you out of here, D-Mac. I know you're a sports guy, bro. So you got to tell me, did you watch the Lions on Sunday, and what'd you think?
I did. They don't have the luxury of making those mistakes. The coaching's got to get better, and let's just win, beat the Commanders, and then we don't worry about the negativity of the questions we have to answer if we lose. Let's just win this game. So, but they got to be better. They got to be better defensively. They got to be better in a lot of things, but I think that they will be. And it starts with the coaching. So, anyways, we come out of this week with a win, 1-1. That's a conversation. If not, then ask me next week, and we'll have the tougher questions.
Well, if they lose this week, it is not my fault because I will be at Ford Field. Hot damn it! I'm going to bring them good luck, and we're going to win one. Hell yeah! Well, what the fuck? I'll see you. I will see you this Sunday, sir.
We'll pregame.
Fuck yeah! That's what I'm talking about. My Sunday just got a lot more badass. Your Sunday could get a lot more badass if you hit that subscribe button. And before I get them out of here, our friends over at G3 Payroll and Tax can make your tax season a great one. So make sure you check them out. The link to their stuff is in the description. You got it. Dollar bill, y'all. Get your taxes together. G3 Payroll and Tax. Tell them Knockouts 3 Count sent you. And yeah, Donald's over here throwing the shit still in the comments, man. Hey, man, I had
love you, Donald. Love you.
Hell yeah. Fuck what anybody's saying against Donald.
By the way, let me finish this. Anybody wants to come and say hi, I'll be at Monroe Pop Fest on Saturday all day.
Ditto.
So come see down everybody. You're going to be down there too, there, King?
I got a taco eating contest, baby.
Nice.
On Saturday? Hell yeah.
Dread King's going to be on some Kobayashi type shit.
Hang out with scummy people. It'll be scummy. It'll be grimy.
Zach will be there. There'll be all types of wrestlers there representing IWR.
All right, Logan, before you get off here, I want this on record on air since we've had such a gap in between when we bring you on the show. We need to bring Midwest Scum back on the show here soon, dude. I told Zach that he's got to come through too, so we need to make this shit happen.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do if Circle 6 comes back to Detroit the week before, Midwest Scum on there.
You heard it here first. Mike, if you're still watching this, bitch, you heard it here first. It's going to happen. Midwest Scum will be on the show come time for Circle 6 to come back. That just means you got to come back to Detroit, bro, because there's a lot more stuff that we got to talk about. Well, Dread King, throw out there where they can find you on social media, on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams, Twitters, Facebooks, all them bitches.
Word. So on the YouTubes, it's the Dread King Logan or Midwest Scum. You can look us up. I got a page. Instagram, Facebook, and the Twitter, it's at the Dread King Logan. And I want to give a special shout out to the Dread Queen. It's her birthday this weekend on Friday.
Happy birthday, Holly!
Hell yeah, and she is a bona fide Midwest Scum wife.
Absolutely.
Hey, Holly's the deal, man. Like I said, she's always fun to hang out with at these shows. And, you guys showed how small of a world it is. I don't know how, but you motherfuckers know Connor May somehow. So shout out to Connor. I know you were watching this shit.
Listen, man, secretly, like the heart of Midwest Scum is Holly. She keeps us all just grounded, man.
Yeah.
She gets us home. Listen, long nights on long rides. She gets us home safely. All that, man. She is A1. I'm telling you right now. So, mad shout out to my wife.
Gotta have
Hell
one
yeah,
of those,
I'm with
man.
it. All hail the Dread Queen.
All hail the drag queen.
All hail.
I'm with it. D-Mac, as always, brother, it's always a pleasure. And now that I know you're going to be at the Lions game Sunday, I'll see you this Sunday, my guy. We got to make sure that we make this happen.
Sounds good. DarrenMcCarty.com and Darren McCarty 4 on Twitter. If you want to, Darren McCarty 4 on Twitter if you want to get into the shenanigans, because that's the one I run.
Yeah, check out Circle 6. Check out Circle 6 on Fight TV, on Twitch, IWTV. They're on everything, man. They're on everything.
Yeah, they're
Twitch.
doing it. They're doing it, and they're not going to stop.
Me and Ace Perry's matches, Twitch.
It's gonna be like a pie. Circle 6 is the company. It's gonna bake like a pie. It's just gonna keep growing and growing, and they're doing it, and they're laying the foundation. And it's proud.
Keep your eye open for Combat 1 also. That's coming.
You know, they just followed us, and I saw that card that they put together.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, they've got some shit going, man. If y'all, you already see how we roll out here. If y'all want to put something together, my inbox is open. But with that being said,
box
dude,
is always open, bro.
Big old box.
Box. The box.
Big old inbox.
Big old inbox. Sliding in them DMs like the luge. But yeah, man, it was a good time, gentlemen.
All right, fellas. Have a good
thank
one.
you guys.
We'll talk to
you later.
All right, thanks, boys.
Yes, sir. Peace.
These guys are the
shit,
Yeah.
The Dread King Logan and D-Mac. Thoughts?
As always, man, entertaining as hell whenever you're talking to best way I can always describe him, the Detroit legend himself, Darren McCarty. And Logan with some inspirational words, man. It looks like he's enjoying his time over there at Circle 6. It looks like he's got a bright future ahead of him if he can maintain that mindset that he seems to have built up.
Yeah.
Cool, I mean, man. Dude, he had the whole Slay the Day movement going for a while, so yeah, he's a good dude.
All the way from the dark start of the Dread King, man. Like, you got to respect that dude's grind, bro. That dude is killing out there. So,
hey, man, it was his
D-Mac as well. Like I always said,
you're not kidding. Shout out to Donald in the comments because that was totally not planned, and like Donald just like totally put it out there. And shout out to D-Mac being the homie. I'm looking forward to the Lions game even more. Hot damn it, please let them win. And wait a minute. Before we get on to the fights, did you guys hear that this is the first time in 24 regular season games that we're actually favored to win a game?
Yes, I did. Which is surprising to me because the Commanders actually got a win last week, and Carson Wentz didn't look that bad. So yeah. I'm fairly surprised that this is the game of all the games, right? Like, we've played significantly worse teams in these 24 games than that, but hey. All right, I'll take the optimism. I like that. I like that. Whenever Vegas sees something good, that usually means that they see something behind the scenes that us as fans aren't privy to knowing. That they, build this opinion based upon. So hopefully it means something. Hopefully it means something. But
it's a lot of hope. It's a lot of hope. But cardiac cats, man. Like I said, I've always said. That's what's going to kill me. It's going to be them.
Yeah. Either way, I hope you enjoy your trip out to lovely Ford Field, and hopefully they can get that dub for you out there. Are we jumping?
I mean, Donald, you're not wrong. They did look improved for sure. Yeah, dude, it was a busy ass weekend because we also had the homie Mega Ran in town. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Microphone Misfits. My man that was like straight b-boying, killing it in the fucking, over there at the Otis Supply. Check out our stories at KO3C Pod and you can see all that. So shout out to Mega Ran and Penny the Great. They killed it over there. And then, yeah, dude, UFC was something else. I feel like we got a much better card than what we should have. But, man, the fact that they're saying that Khamzat didn't get anything for that is still mind-blowing to me.
Isn't it? But before we just jump into the fight news and breakdowns, I do want to make a quick point. Rest in peace, Elias Theodorou.
Good. I was going to get to that.
I was a huge fan of his. He was actually one of the people that kind of got me into UFC back in the day when he won TUF. Man, that was a cool thing. I really enjoyed that time. I enjoyed his time throughout the UFC. I felt like had he had a little more time to develop his skills, he could have really ended up being a contender later on. He just got into the game later on. But either way, inspirational guy inside and out of the octagon, and to see anybody who tries to do good in life, unfortunately, lose their life at such a young age, man. You hate to see it, man.
Yeah, I can't argue that, dude. You know, he could fight too. Like the dude could fight, and you know, he was one of the first advocates for medical marijuana. Was the first person to get like a therapeutic use like exemption in MMA, and you know, first ring man, or so would it be the ring guy for Invicta?
Ring boy,
I mean,
or whatever
whatever, bro. I mean, bro, we're
Ring
talking about
dude.
an all-female
Ring dude.
promotion, and it was not like there wasn't things to look at. So you know what? I am not mad at you, my guy.
Ring dude.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. But yeah, dude. Shout out to Elias Theodro. Rest in peace. You know, prayers to his family. Definitely was a bummer. I was listening to our guy, Ryan McKinnell from MMA today, talk about it with the other homie, Andreas Hale of DAZN, on Unlocking the Cage with Jimmy Smith, because Jimmy Smith wasn't there today. So, yeah, like I said, it's a sad thing to see anybody go that young. Shout out to Elias Theodore. I can't spit his fucking name.
Theodoru.
There you go.
It's one of them Canadian last names. I'll forget.
Circle it in red. I'm usually trying to help out with names and shit, and this motherfucker's catching my tied up tongue. So, yeah, dude. With that being said, you know, we had the UFC, and we had shout out to fellow past guest of the show, Britton Hart Beltran, your new BKFC 115 champ in this motherfucker. You know, she got a new opponent, but I mean, hey, dude, she got the belt. You know, if you didn't get to check it out, make sure you go check it out in the archives. Hopefully we'll get the champ back on here soon. But which one do you guys want to start with first, BKFC or UFC?
I feel like BKFC, because it'll be easier to run through. The UFC will be more of the poignant one. But to your point, shout out Britton Hart, man. Able to finally come out successful in one of these title bouts. You know, mean that with absolutely no offense, but she really is now fighting in her true weight class, I feel like, at 115. And I feel like once BKFC is able to build that division up more, we're going to see another exciting women's BKFC division like 125 has continued to showcase that it is. So
I agree, man. Like I say, I mean, it's going to be they're going to have to build up the division a little more. I'm really interested to see what we see next from Taylor Starling. Shout out to the champ, Christine Faria, you know, doing her thing. I'm so sorry about that parlay. I got fucked over too. You know, I just want you to know, Judge in Las Vegas, not only did you cost me $20, you cost the champ $200, and you made me look like an asshole because you don't know what the fuck you were watching. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would love to go, since we're just jumping. Let's wrap up BKFC.
Oh, I'm going to, but I just was throwing that out there since we were talking about the champ, because we were both kind of stuck in this parlay fuck, because look, and I'm not saying this as like a slight to Rodriguez. I like D-Rod, but Hayden, you jinxed me, you son of a bitch, if you hear this. But with that being said, I still thought Li Jingliang won that fight. And even Dana said it after the fight. The commentators even said it as the round was over. Like, if you guys watched UFC 279, I want to know who you had in the comments. Did you think the Leech won, or did you think Rodriguez won? Tell me who you got in the comments.
Yeah, I definitely agree with your opinion as well. I'd love to watch it back once this pay-per-view becomes free to view on ESPN+. I'm going to probably end up watching that one back just because of all the speculation. But to wrap up BKFC, yet again, shout out Britton Hart, Joe Riggs.
Dude, that headbutt was gnarly.
Dude, that was...
My man just went straight through like a running back and said, "Wham!"
That was unfortunate for sure, man. He fucking face planted off a headbutt, and it was just like,
dude, the crunch on his head though.
When they first showed it, I was like, man, that was a short shot to put him down like that. What he hit him with? And then they showed the replay from the other angle, and I was like, oh, he hit him with his forehead. That's what he hit him with, straight to the fucking jaw.
He just said, fuck punching him. I can't hit him. I'm going to just headbutt him. I know he's fast, dude, so I'm going to just cut the distance with my head.
Right.
Bleeding like a shark, like the dolphins.
That
was gnarly, dude.
The third fight in line, I cannot remember. It was Crowder versus, I cannot remember the other guy's name for the life of me.
Kai Lawrence.
Yeah, both of them put on a pretty impressive.
See, I'm a smart.
I feel like, yeah, at least you can remember names. I'm just terrible with names, man. Unless I've seen these guys 2 or 3 times, I usually am just, I'm like, oh, that was entertaining. On to the next one. But no, Kai Lawrence and Crowder, they both put on a pretty impressive fight. I feel like Crowder started to gas out towards the end until that real-time scoring, which I'm rooted for many times on the show, and tried to do my job of pumping it up because I feel like it's the next great step that we can have in the lovely sport of MMA is letting these guys actually know what they have going into these rounds. But they were able to see that it was essentially even going into the 5th round, and Crowder was able to pour on a little bit more pressure. I still feel like Kai was able to edge out that 5th round.
Kai Stewart, excuse me, I had his last name wrong. I had the first name right though.
Hey, it was Kai. You're.
Look here, lemon drop. Nobody asked for the back sass.
Either way.
Hey, I didn't want to say it out loud on the show. Then he said it too. Like, fuck. All right. Let me just put it in the comments. Lemon drop. I love that.
Hey, dude, you never know. I can come up with this shit off the top of my head.
Shout out the hometown boy in Stewart, right? That's what we decided on is Stewart. Shout out him for getting the dub.
He had a comeback, too, because, man, Crowder put it on him in the beginning.
That's what I mean, man. I really do like that open scoring, though. I feel like that was a great example of it right there on why it's a great thing, because Crowder was definitely fading going into those later rounds, and he's seeing that it was even coming.
I think he thought he was farther ahead than he was, and that kid Stewart just never stopped coming forward.
Yeah. Good fight, and there was quite a few other ones up and down, as BKFC usually.
Jenny Savage with the 38-second fucking knockout.
Yeah,
one shot in that. What's that chick from Russia? She was from Russia, or where was it? Russia she was from?
Yeah, she was from.
Dog, she took one punch, looked up, and said, "Nope,
nope,
I don't want no more of this." Like, she literally waved it as soon as she sat back. She said, "Nope, not today." This shit looked cool. This shit looked cool, but them knuckles, boy, they'll give them to you. So shout out to BKFC, man.
Not trying to shit on anybody's, political affiliations or anything, but she came out in the whole Soviet fucking red star with the hammer and sickle hoodie and shit, looking like she was about to come out there and do some shit. And then to Kyle's point, she ate one solid left hand.
Literally one shot.
And she just was on the ground like, nope. She was definitely the one receiving the sickle, and she was not the hammer this night. That's what I want to end that point with.
I'm looking to see who's going to be the sickle and who's going to be the hammer when I watch these Contender Series fights after I get done with this. But with that being said, UFC 279. Before we get into anything about the fights, I want to know both of your thoughts on how all of the shit was handled with the fights being changed around, and if what we hear about Khamzat is really true. And do you really believe what Dana said, where he's like, oh, well, nobody got paid extra. These guys all got deals. But then literally almost every fighter said after the fights, yeah, we all got money, to the point where Kevin Holland's jumping around all over the place about fighting Khamzat.
Yeah.
Nate's basically saying, yeah, I got paid like buku bucks.
He lost count. You said I lost.
Yeah, he lost count of how much money he made. So, I mean, more power to you, my G. So, with that being said, what are your guys' thoughts on how everything played out and how it was handled?
To play on what your initial question was earlier, because I know you're just kind of rephasing that in a different way now. It is kind of bullshit that Cosma essentially had this whole card built for him to be able to take on a legend, be the legend killer himself that ends up, the one rising from the flames with, the legend's head in hand, and now all of a sudden he's the new legend. For all of a sudden us that to be the original like moniker that this card was built on, to have the whole thing be toss salad, the day of weigh-ins, all because you were that far off of weight, and then to not even get fined, take on still a favorable opponent.
One thing I want to throw in there though before you finish your point. I didn't know this until just the other day. I heard Jimmy Smith talk about this. They said that, it was Ryan. Maybe it was Ryan. No, it was Ryan McKinnell was saying it. He was saying that Hamzat actually got down to 173 and they told him to stop. That's why he weighed in at 178 on the scale. But either way, he wasn't making 170.
Well, from what the interview that I had listened to with his coach on the Ariel Hawani show, I believe it was 176 when they told him to quit cutting, if I wasn't mistaken. Okay. I may be wrong on that, but it was the Swedish coach that was on. I can't think of his name at the moment, but he was talking about everything that led up to. It seemed like he basically wanted to take credit for the doctors being the ones that took, made the call, but he was like, no, I made the call because I was seeing him sick and vomiting and this, that, and the other. And I was in my head, I'm like, if he was that sick, if he's vomiting and stuff like that the day before, the commission wouldn't clear him to fight still. So, like if the commission sees any of that type of stuff to the point where they're in your room telling you have to already stop cutting weight, they're not going to just say, okay, yeah, no big deal, co-main event, 5 rounds. Yeah, we got you. Like that wouldn't be the case. So I don't want to say somebody's lying, but somebody's fucking lying.
Somebody's fucking lying out there, dude.
Yeah.
What do you think, J-Bone?
Man, look, let's be honest. Any other card, this thing would have been fucking scratched. The dude would have been taken out of the fight. I mean, I understand it's a business. It's the day before. You want to see that guy on your TV. There's money written all over that dude, but I don't like the favoritism, I guess, because, and especially if you're not paying these guys, I don't care what anybody says.
Well, especially when 2 other guys got docked money for missing weight.
Heavyweights, right? When that what it was, the heavyweight.
Well,
guys?
Chris Barnett
was a heavyweight.
Yeah. So and you can't sit here and tell me even on any other given card, if a guy takes the fight on short notice, he's getting paid a little bit more. Now, you're going to throw around the entire main event and the main card, and they're not getting paid more? I really doubt that. So why not be transparent and say, hey, we're going to boost these guys' fighter pay, which should have been done in the first place. Let's face it, bullshit. Why not
especially when they're playing hospital, fucking however much money he's about to get paid.
For whatever the fuck that's about. I don't even know what the fuck that's about, but I mean, come on, dude. Like, and then, like you said, any other guy. Look at the Oliveira situation. Like, so strict, right? So strict on that. And here we are. We'll just switch you into a different fight. Now, if you didn't get paid for it, I'm fine with that because you know what it is to miss weight. It's called being a professional fighter. It comes with it. You have to make.
Well, you can't not pay him, period, because the man still got the cage.
The standard in that case, it would be either 30 or sometimes
he should have lost if he was that high over. It depends on what they call him at over. But even at that, even if they gave him 176, the only way he would have been at 20% is if they gave him 173. But if they gave him either of the other two numbers, he was losing 30% of his money. But and here's the other thing. Like my thing is, from like a fighter point of view, is like, okay, you changed my opponent on like less than 24 hours notice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for any of you that think, oh, well, fuck it, they were getting in there to fight anyway. No, it is not the same when you're going in there to fight somebody that you train specifically for that is not the same. It's not. And let's face it, here's the point that I heard brought up that I didn't really think about. And the more I've heard it, it's totally true. Let's face it, Nate Diaz held the keys on this card. Because if Nate Diaz says, fuck you, I'm not fighting, that card gets scrapped.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you there were no Dana came out and said how there were no refunds. Well, yeah, there was no refunds because Nate was still on the show. Had Nate said, fuck you, I'm not fighting.
Oh yeah.
I think you have a lot different scene.
For sure.
Agreed.
And just like your point that you made, and I've heard it made all over the place, that the card kind of got reshuffled for the better, right? Like if it's your,
I agree,
if that's your
100%.
If that's your deck of cards and a hand of cards in a game of Texas Hold'em, you're happier with this way that this is playing out than the way your last hand was, and to the way everything played out for Nate Diaz to finally go out the way he's been asking for Ariel Helwani did an amazing job of breaking it down. He had all the tweets on screen showing from when Nate Diaz has been asking for fights from all the way back in like October of last year to where we are now. He finally got that matchup. It was the matchup that basically he was sent in there to be just cheap. He was
put out to the gallows for that one.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And then for everything to play out the way it did, I know, Kyle, you're a bit of a religious man yourself. Ariel Helwani had very much said it was the MMA gods looking out for Nate Diaz and all.
I don't know how else you can put that, because dude, you couldn't have got a better matchup for him out of it, and a better fight for Tony too. That worked out better for the both of them. But yeah, man, that was fuck, dude.
It was crazy. I definitely.
Well, look what Hamzat did to Kevin Holland. No offense to Nate, but that could have been even worse.
Yeah, all right. Quick question: if we've seen if we've seen Nate Diaz versus Trailblazer Kevin Holland, who do you guys think is going to win that fight? Because I think Kevin Holland would be the one that probably wins that fight. So
it depends though, because it depends on how that fight plays out. Because on the feet, I believe that Kevin Holland would have more power for sure. But Nate's already proven that he can take the shots, and if he did like he did with Leon Edwards, he could catch him. So, though, I would think the issue for Kevin Holland in that fight would be, and this is something that's been pointed out a few times that I think is a great point to talk about. If that is his last fight in the UFC, for him to go out getting somebody with a guillotine choke with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left,
and then throwing up the arm.
Yeah, dude. You couldn't have done it any better, and he's flexing. Yeah.
Literally
storybook ending for him there.
That's like me fucking if it was me and going in there and getting it at 313 like that, you literally cannot make it any more fucking the bells. They needed to have the little bluebirds come down with bells in their mouth and fucking bringing the ribbons down. Nate Diaz, you've done it. It could not have been any.
And Corey's fucking long ass hair just flowing in the wind.
Have him above, just kind of hanging out.
It just literally could not have
just
been
sitting there
a fairy tale ending.
No, you're right.
Diaz. Right. And shout out him. I am not the Diaz Army guy where I'm the loyalist, the fan to these guys and stuff. I've regularly criticized their actions and some of their fights and stuff on the podcast even. This is not one of them, man. What he was able to showcase this last Saturday night showed that he's definitely still able to contend with a lot of these guys. I'm excited if the Jake Paul fight does come out, even more so now. Especially that he was able to get the win and didn't just go in there against Cosmot and get mauled and stuff. It was just it all around definitely made the card that much more entertaining. Seeing these two legends go in there back and forth. Nate Diaz eating those leg kicks the way he did. Kyle
that was nasty
saying,
too.
Kyle saying no, but me saying he looked like he was turning around trying to, he thought for a half second that fuck, this leg fucking hurts and I am done with this. That's what that standing around doing the little walk for a second, that's what that was to me. Was I either
that was
need
just
30
me telling you I'm
seconds
not surprised, motherfuckers.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
I either need 30 seconds to let my leg stop throbbing for a second, or I'm done. One or the two. That's what
I'm not saying his leg didn't hurt. I never said his leg wasn't fucked up. Like, that was clear. But I mean, you couldn't have done a better storybook ending for Nate.
Yeah.
To be honest, after that fight, though, like Tony says he wants to keep fighting. I don't know that I want to see it unless it's like what do you call it? Like the super fight type things. Like if it's something like that, maybe like if you had him fight like Robbie Lawler or like or I don't know, whoever you want to put in there. But as far as him contending for a title, dude, I don't see it at 170.
No, I seen the Twitter ramblings of somebody saying that they'd love to see him.
And I love Tony Ferguson. Do not mistake what I'm saying. Like, I saw him wearing the Detroit Pistons stuff on there. Like, I am a big Tony Ferguson fan, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know that he'll be able to keep up because, I mean, let's be honest, dude. Do you really think that Tony Ferguson's going in there and beating Leon Edwards or Kamaru?
No, God, no. Especially not with those performances that he's showing in these last couple fights, and to the point that he just looks like he just incrementally every fight is getting a little bit slower, a little bit slower, a little bit slower, and that's the worst thing. You know, it just looks like Father Time starting to catch up to him. You know, I forget which show I was watching that brought it up, but they were bringing up the point of, I don't know if he was trying to throw spinning back fists and elbows and shit, or if he was just throwing, you know, to the point where he's getting himself out of position. But the fact that he kept turning his back to Nate Diaz so many times during that fight, that was just not a good sign to me, man. For somebody at that stage in his career to be throwing those shots and then be just kind of like doing one of these until he can get his bearings back, that didn't look good, man.
Can't argue that. J-Bone, what do you think?
Question for you guys. Actually, I got a question. I mean, I don't mean to jump off the Nate Diaz thing here, but as regards to Hamzat, I've seen this question posed on Twitter. So since he missed the weight but still dominated the fight the way he did, does that do anything in regards to his ranking? Is he?
I don't think anybody. I really don't think anybody's rankings should be affected by this because nobody was fighting at the weight they were supposed to be fighting at.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I mean,
so do you think he's in line for a number one contender shot? Do you think that he just stays where he's at and he's got to fight another fight? Like,
I'm not a really good person to ask about this because I've said multiple times on this show, like, there's very few things that I'm like a stickler for, and one of them is people not making weight. Because I've been there and I've been the other guy, and especially in a situation like that, because this guy's talking about Colby Covington, I kill you, bro, blah blah blah, you know, and talking about Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman, I beat them all. Well, how the hell are you going to beat him if you can't make 170?
Right.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, he's made 170 before, but I'm just saying, like, this was supposed to be like your showcase fight to basically put Nate Diaz out of the pasture, and you didn't make weight, bro. Like, I mean, there ain't no way else to say it. Like, I think he's got to at least win another fight or two. Colby's a good option, but I mean, you can't give him a number one contender fight after that. How the fuck can you?
I would think
I mean, if you give him Colby, it is a number one title.
Sure, if he beats Colby, that's why I said he should have to fight another fight. But to just give him a title shot after that, like, shit, you already rewarded the guy by he didn't lose any money, and then if you give him a title shot too, like, damn.
Yeah, no. Even though his finish was impressive, and the fact that he was able to just go out there and dominate for the most part, you know, I mean, Kevin Holland did a good job. Kevin Holland did a good job of Grammy rolling his way around and around and around until he eventually couldn't and got subbed out. But I definitely, what surprises me the most, right, is he's came out 100+ times, basically every interview he does, and talks about the fact that he's going to be fighting at 185 and 170. if 170 is such a tough weight cut, and there's less wrestlers, there's less, like, realistically, I feel like the line towards a title at 185 is easier than it is at 170. Why are we even doing this? Why are we doing this game? Why don't we just see him fight at fucking 185? Like, he already.
I mean, I think after you miss weight like that, you should have to. But I mean, at 185, I mean, I would agree even more so in the sense when you talk about, like, think about it. I mean, you've got the rematch between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. Well, what if Kamaru Usman wins the title? Right. You ain't gonna just throw Kamaru Usman around like that. Now, if he throws Kamaru Usman around like that, then well, fuck. Then you've got a whole nother kind of monster. I mean, what are you gonna say?
Yeah,
if he can do that to Kamaru Usman, who's arguably the greatest welterweight of all time, or I mean, hell, Leon Edwards knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah.
So if he does that to them, but I don't know, man. I still think that Kamaru is gonna win the belt back in the rematch. But that being said, I don't know, man. I really think he should be at 85. But
do you guys want to see him fight Kobe next?
That's what. So
if he stays at 170, sure, because at least that's like a fight that if he wins that can put him back in that contention. Because I think most of us wouldn't argue that at 170 it's basically now it's Leon, Kamaru, Colby. But when Kamaru was champ, it was Kamaru, Colby, and then the rest of the division. So if Khamzat's going to have to fight another fight, which I think he should have to, then Colby's the perfect person to do that if you're going to keep him at 170. But like I said, if he really did weigh in at 178, I think we need to just quit fucking around. He needs to fight at 185, which Dana alluded to that too.
Yeah, that's what would make the most sense to me. But if he does stay at 170, Colby is like a ideal matchup. But the other matchup that has been brought up as well, and I feel like if you are going to not necessarily punish him, because I feel like that's not necessarily the right word, but make him feel some type of repercussion for coming in that overweight and still trying to fight in the division and stuff like that. I feel like the Sean
they
Brady
paid him extra after that shit. So, I mean, although I did hear Khamzat's coach come out and say he offered 100% of his purse, but
yeah, but I bet none of
I'm
that
not
happened.
offering nobody 100% of shit.
But either way, I feel like the Bilal Muhammad versus Sean Brady, the winner of that fight, would also be a very viable option. You're
not mad at that at all, dude.
But
I've said for a long time, Bully B needs to be up there, so I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, I feel like that's also a very viable option. I feel like if you're not trying to immediately put him in a number one contender fight because of the weight miss and stuff like that, that would be the fight that I would look for then, as the follow-up, essentially. But I don't know, man. What about Kevin Holland and all this? I've seen him call back.
I don't think Kevin Holland's hurt at all.
Yeah, I seen him call back out D-Rod. I seen him call out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I feel like both of those matchups would be good ones. I feel like with D-Rod getting the controversial win and stuff, he's kind of in the same boat that he was coming into it. Even though, Kyle, you had brought up rankings and how you feel as though nobody should be affected, I bet Li Jinglang feels the same way as he lost his ranking to Daniel Rodriguez, who now sits at number 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Again, no disrespect to D-Rod, dude, but damn.
Yeah, I don't like that you can lose your ranking like that, dude.
In a catch weight bout at that.
Right. How do you lose a ranking in a fucking weight class when you didn't even fight at that weight class?
Yeah. I understand you're both competitors at that weight class, but the fact is that fight didn't take place in that weight
I'm fine if that lends towards like what fights you get next, but how any of that should affect the fucking rankings makes no sense to me. Again, no disrespect to
D-Rod. D-Rod put on a hell of a fight, and for coming off of such a layoff, because I don't know if you guys are aware, but he was coming off a fairly significant injury. And that's why he was out for so long. I'm not aware of exactly what it was in particular, but I know he was out for over a year because of it. And to see him come back in there and put on a very close fight, whether you thought he won or not. It was very competitive. You could have
sure, and I'm not, and again, all respect to him. Like, I'm not saying he didn't fight well. I don't know, man. Like, and then, like, it's even crazier when, like, as they're like signing off for the fight, it's like the commentators are basically saying he won, and then Dana gets on the thing after the thing and says he thinks he won. Like, and that's shitty for Ling Jing Liang now, because now he's split him in his last 4 fights now.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily his fault. I mean, you always hear don't leave it to the judges, right? Because you might not like the outcome, even if you think you won. But yet again,
I mean, from what I saw, he was landing a lot better shots in that 3rd round, dude.
Open scoring, it would have helped so much in this fight. Open scoring, he would have been able to at least known that the judges were screwing him and that the decision was not coming out in his favor with the current projection of the fight. I'm shout it from the hills every time I get the chance, and I feel like this is just a perfect representation of where it would help.
I'm not mad at open scoring. I've said that before, dude. I'm not mad at that at all. The last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here on the combat sports end of things, because we still have the Thursday show and there's more to talk about. Dude, why did Le'Veon Bell have to kill Adrian Peterson like that?
Oh, I wasn't sure if we were.
The way he fell flat on his ass, I was like, damn. And AP dropped him earlier in the fight, and I'm like, damn it. Like, part of me was pulling for AP just because he played for the Lions, but man.
I really wish they would have shown both of both drops in the clip, because the only clip that's circulating out there is
is the one of
AP going down hard, man. And it's just you see, like you hear the classic moniker or whatever you want to call it of you can't play boxing, right? And that was a clear example.
Where you've heard that one before, folks. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, you can't play it because, man, when you lose in boxing, you lose in a way where your knee might fuck around and give out, your face might end up missing a tooth or two, your nose might be pointing a different direction than you wanted it to. You might be smelling behind you before the fight's over. So that one looked bad for Adrian Peterson, man. I wish they would have at least showcased where he was able to get the knockdown, because
at least make it look like he had a fighting chance.
Yeah, because man, that knockdown, the knockout, it wasn't even a knockdown. That was a full-fledged knockout. Yeah, that was an out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a knockout. This weekend was a knockout, and man, we're counting down the days like my sentence. It's like gonna be the end of my 20s, bro. We need to like have a D-Day clock, like like the fucking music's coming. My 20s are coming to an end. Hot damn it, I'm getting old. I'm gonna have not one but 2 nephews. Son of a bitch. One of them already's turning into a tank, and I got another one coming. Oh shit.
You are getting
I almost I almost bought this kid like a light up tank the other day. Like you could like hit the buttons and it like makes all kinds of fucking noises and shit. Dude, Kelsey, if you're listening, you are so fucked, because I'm gonna make sure that kid's got all the stuff to just annoy the shit out of you.
Noise
that uncle, huh?
Noise maker.
Fuck yeah, because I get to send them back home. Hell yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Little tank, Uncle Kyle's got you covered, my guy. But with that being said, we've got you covered. Shout out again to Darren McCarty and the Dread King Logan. If you haven't already done so, make sure you're following them. If you missed any of our chats with Vinny Massaro, with Atticus Kogar, with Jake Chris, with the homie Mike from Circle 6, the links to those are in the description. And again, shout out to our sponsors, G3 Payroll and Tax. Get right for the tax season. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we'll be back this Thursday. Jake Paul and Anderson Silva. Oh, my God. Please don't let MMA die. Peace.